to AI. And to take us through this transformation, we have a visionary leader whose work sits on an intersection of technology, intelligence, and financial strategy planning. Well, we are very delighted and very privileged that highly respected leader who has been at the forefront of collection, strategy, innovation, and operational excellence in India's financial sector. Well, our keynote speaker for the next session is Mr. Anil Tandon. He is an expert with over 3 decades of expertise specializing in products like cards, personal loans, business loans, home loans. He is responsible for collection across HDFC's bank largest portfolio and is widely recognized his consistent delivery and budget compliance. But that's not all. Known as an architect behind industry's largest contact center, Mr. Tandon has been strong advocate for digital collection, signifying improving efficiency and of course optimizing the cost while scaling the operation across the banking sector. He is currently leading the national collection for unsecured loans, home loans, digital collection at HDFC Bank. Can we have a huge round of applause and welcome him? And let's get going with our keynote session, AI Revolution in Collection, that we definitely all look forward to.
Thank you, Shudha, for your kind words. This was quite overwhelming. Good morning, all. And so I was told today, I got this call a week back, and I was told you need to talk for 15-20 minutes and to kick open the power-packed Bharat Collection Summit. So I said, okay, I will do that. But as I was thinking, then I thought, would it be appropriate only to talk? Or should we also add some visuals? Because this is a forum, I think, where it's going to talk a lot of things. There is going to be a lot of insights, innovations, and a lot of energy in the room through the day. So if I was told to set the tone for the day, I thought a nice combination of audio and visual, just to express where we are, where we are going, and what is the way. So with that, I also have some notes which was prepared today morning at 5 o'clock. This was like, they reminded me of my olden days, just before the exams, you make some notes, because I wanted to make this very appropriate for all of us. So before we start, this is not required, right? Okay. So I have a question, I think somebody asked, okay, are we ready? Are we ready to transform this collection, which is called, normally perceived as a cost center, okay, back-end operations? Can this be rebranded as competitive advantage? Can we be the strategic partner to the business? Why do I say, a lot of people would think, why do I say cost center? Hum to cost center nahi. We to collect on behalf of the bank. But we collect our own money by paying a cost. Okay, that's the thing. Okay. So, are we actually an EMI collection team or are we a loss prevention team? Now look at the words. EMI collection team to a loss prevention. Loss prevention is where the business is more comfortable with. I think with that in mind, okay, let's start this and keep this question in mind as we go along. Okay. ये कैसा लगता है? ये हमारा काल चक्र है. I think some of the components what you see here, you guys would resonate. This is what we talk daily. Soft bucket, hard bucket, vendor management, penalties. This is what we, on a daily basis, I think we talk, we discuss. And why do we do this? We do this. Achha, by the way, this is going to become the bhutkal now, because Bhavishya Kal is what we are going to talk. I think most of these things will go as we eventually move into the future. But the whole idea, why we do this, why were we doing this in the past? I think at collections, we need lower volumes and we need more time. That is the essence. Whenever you have more time to collect, and small example I will give it to you. When you have a 31st month, when you have a long month, I think we do well. When you have a short month like April, when you have a Diwali month, we all have the standard excuses. Sir, wo chutiyan thi, paise nahi hai. Okay. So today what we are going to talk is how can we be consistent? How can we create more and more time? You might get an allocation, you might get a bounce of say 10,000, 15,000 crores. But how can we be consistent and on the field if we give them only 5 or 7 or 2 or 3? And that is where we need to reach. Okay? Because that how you optimize efforts going to the right customer, and that's going to be the theme I think through the day. I was looking at the brochure and I said half my presentation is there in the brochure which is there on the table. Okay? We are all talking the same language and I'm very glad. And obviously the cost. Okay? Cost of collection, हमारा पैसा लाने के लिए हमको ही पैसा देना पड़े. I don't think so it doesn't make sense, So that is where what we need to look at. I'm sure a lot of us who have been into this business, into collections for last 20, 30 years, I have been into the last 30 years, would relate to this. Spray and pray. सबको एक तरह से करो और फिर pray and hope करो कि the money will come back. Okay? All customers for us the same. All and then we would go with. I don't want. This is a forum. लगाते रहो. Okay? And सब पैसा भरेंगे. So it was very human dependency was very high there. Okay, we had callers, field. There are a lot of things which were happening there on the this. There was, I don't think so. We had, and this I am talking about 30 years back, 25 years back. We had any definite framework. It was individual dependency. आज उसको लगा, इसको कॉल करना है, उसको कॉल करेगा. आज इसके फील्ड करना है. How to collect, when to collect, was totally dependent on the individual, maybe mood also and emotions also at times. This could lead to a lot of outages. We also used to have a lot of complaints and other things. Okay, I don't want to dwell into this, but this is for the youngsters how we started collection 30 years back. Okay. Then we didn't have SMSs, we didn't have IVRs, we didn't have logos. But there was one channel which was a non-voice channel then also. And you know who was our channel partner then? Just guess. It was the Postal Department of India. So whenever we had customers whom we couldn't contact, we would send them telegrams. That was the fastest way to reach a customer. And then there were days when the caller was upset, and I had an instance when I was standing in front of the customer. She sent in a day 30 telegrams to the same customer. Because the control was with her. There was no framework. And every 15 minutes the postman was knocking the door of the customer. Telegram, paisa bhar do. Telegram. So from there we started this. Okay. Did it work for us? The answer is yes. It did. But could we have sustained this in today's time? The answer is definitely no. Correct? I am sure you can relate to this picture. By the way, all these pictures are AI generated. That's what we told to me. Then, this is where we are currently, more or less. We are here. We get the delinquent pool. Now, we have sorted our customers. We've sorted our customers into categories. Similar looking customers, the cohort is on one side, then you have others. We call them normally. In the previous slide, so only differentiator we would have then was a balance band separation. बड़ा customer है 200 call करेंगे, छोटा customer है तो 20 करेंगे. That was the only differentiator. But this predictive analytics brought us into data modeling. Data modeling today tells us which are our good customers, which are not our so good customers. We call them, some call them good, bad, okay. We call them low risk, high risk, medium risk, extremely high risk, and extremely low risk also. That is how you cut your portfolio, because you are given a probability with the band from 1 to 10. You can cut first 5 is low risk and so on and so forth. But what did that do? I think we moved only from balance band to balance band and the risk band. So balance band, risk band with components of high risk, low risk inside, we at least today know where our efforts have to be put in. We know it's a low risk, low balance, low risk. I don't think so we should touch that customer. The high risk, high balance, maybe, the intensity has to be a little different than a medium risk. So having said that, we also, so there where the allocation strategies come into play. Now we've also defined our engagement strategies. We exactly know. No touch, some touch, telecalling, field, legal, whatever we want to do. But we still do this within the buckets. Within the buckets is what we do this. So we have this engagement strategy, we exactly know what has to be done. Then we can also choose the channel. Which is the channel which is the most appropriate channel for the customer. It could be IVR, it could be SMS, or it could be none. It could also be none. We say, no, we will wait for this guy. Again, because cost is the most important part. आजकल तो SMS में महंगे हो गए. So, and I think this is where we are today, more or less. You guys agree? Very, very defined. But is this driven totally automated? Is this automated? The answer is no. There is still an element of human judgment in how we do this. Okay. So there where we stand today. More or less. So just to summarize, we used to drive when we started collection. So this evolution of collection, this is also somewhere my story, of 30 years. Okay, and I'm sure a lot of you guys also can relate to this story. So when we began collections, say 30 years back, 1991, 92, okay, it was like driving a manual ambassador car. Okay, huge, big, okay, but everything was manual. Gear shifting was manual. How we could decide how to, what kind of allocation, everything was manual, as I said before, okay. It was very effort-centric, lot of hard work. सुबह से निकलते थे फील्ड पे, शाम को आते थे, सबको मिलते थे, then come back, make a note on the table, on the pad, sometimes update, sometimes, I don't know whether we would capture the data the way it was supposed to get captured then. But that was like, but that ride was also joyful, we've all gone through that, on that ride. Then came the automatic phase, which is the second one. This is like driving in a Honda City, okay? Life became little more smoother. We didn't have to shift gears. The car would understand which gear when at the speed you are in. Collections were a little more smoother. At the same time, predictive analytics also kicked in. We had digital tools, which is where we are today, and life is little better than driving an ambassador. Okay. The third is the era of driverless. This is where we have to be now. Okay, this is where we need to be. We are entering into this era. Okay. While we are entering into this area, and while it is going to be driven by its own, the destination still we will have to put the destination. So there is going to be a human element there. It is like a self-driving EV. The system exactly will know when to intervene, how to intervene, at which are the customers to let go, which are the customers to go with a lot of intent at a very early stage. We are a department, we come into play only when something goes wrong. But this will give us a lot of information beforehand if something is going wrong. So from a collection, we are going to move into more portfolio. Remember my first slide, are we going to be the strategic partners with the business? So this is where it will all come. So I think if I have to summarize this is like, from sweat to systems, that kind of a journey. Or you can say from a manual to magical. That's going to be magical, the third one. I am very sure about this. And people who, this is like this, maybe 10 years back, we would say एक phone और 20 years, I remember this is 94, कि एक phone के अंदर सब कुछ हो जाएगा, इसे क्या बात कर रहे हैं, phone ही कौन सा आएगा, then the mobile phone came. 10 years back, we didn't know about Google Maps. Today we are all on Google Maps. This is one of those things which will happen. I am sure this is going to happen, and the ride is going to be quite joyful again. So these are the things, I think, which is going to separate what we are currently doing from what future is going to be. If you read this looks very complex, this looks very, very English. So I thought, कि इसको कैसे हम करें? So I thought, okay, इसको cricket के साथ करते हैं. अभी भी IPL भी खत्म हुआ है. So again, I'm going back and coming because then it creates the impact how future is going to be. So earlier days, गली क्रिकेट, स्कोरबोर्ड भी नहीं, अंपायर भी नहीं होता था, हम हमारे थे, okay, and the way we wanted to play. In terms of we would decide, our gut would decide, आज इससे बात करेंगे और आज इसको फील्ड करेंगे. तो गली क्रिकेट used to be that, अंपायरिंग का कुछ नहीं पता नहीं था. But then the portfolio started growing. Okay, from a gully cricket we started playing in bigger stadiums. Okay, so gut alone could not take care of that. So we needed some more insights. We needed insights on how a particular batsman, or how in a one-day game you would need a one-day entire strategy of a match, and that strategy is another. At what time, which customers should we call, and that is how we evolved into that one-day game. There is a lot of creation of strategies happens. We also had DRS. We exactly know what is right, what is wrong, and he would tell us. But AI is actually a game changer. I am getting convinced. So as I was going through this presentation and as I have been reading over this for the last 1 year, I think we are now coming very, very closer to. We are still on machine learning. We have robots now. Okay, but the next leap is going to be very fast. So pattern recognition. This is, you see in IPL, there are people who are sitting with the computers, वो सब करते थे. Before the batsmen, before bowlers take the field, they exactly know the pattern of the batsman. एक कौन से बॉल को कहाँ मारता है, एक कौन से बॉल पे विकेट. You have seen those. I think his name is Akash or something. Before the match, they show the weaker points of the customer. So the pattern recognition, and exactly that is what AI is going to do. Pattern recognition. Every customer, they would dip into the customer within 5 minutes, tell you civil score क्या है, age band क्या है, demographic क्या है, what is his probability. Today we see a civil score of 800 and we are very happy with that guy, and we say, okay, this is the guy, he is a good guy. This they will tell us. So there are two people with 800 score. Okay, are both similar? Are both going to be similar? The answer is no. Maybe one guy has come from 900 to 800 and the other guy has moved from 700 to 800. So the 700 to 800 is a better guy. The 900 to 800 is showing some stress. So this patterns is what AI will help us doing. Strategy for every batsman I spoke, and that is what hyper personalization is going to do. It's called what model of one. Every unique customer is for each of the customers. I think that's, today when we see, अरे कैसे हो सकता है यार, 25,000 कस्टमर है, तो अलग-अलग SMS थोड़ी भेज सकते हैं. It will happen. As time goes, this will happen and this will become very, very common for all of us. Saturday, Sunday, we are at home. There is somebody who's assisting us 24/7. You remember in telecalling when the dialers came in, before dialers how it used to be? So the evolution of telecalling, I think because I saw about telecalling, it used to be hand phone, you had to pick up the phone and you had to dial the customers. The first time people got happy when they got a headset with a press button phone. That is how the evolution happened, right? The press button phone. And they said, okay, now our hands are free, we are so happy with that. Then came the dialer. Dialer was nothing but an assistant given to a telecaller. From an outbound call, she used to sit and wait for a call to come inside. Because the dialer used to do all the work which a caller was supposed to do. Now the caller started only talking to the customer, dialing selling se nikal gaya. But in the bargain, we got a lot of control over the callers. This is exactly what AI is going to do. We will have a lot of control. We will have real-time MIS and we will know everything, each and everything what is happening, either on the calling floor or on the field. Saturday, Sunday, they can always speak to the customer. It is always available 24/7. You want to make a strategy in the night for tomorrow morning campaign, you put that variables into the software, and it will exactly tell you how it is going to be. I'm sure we all use ChatGPT. Within seconds, it tells you, and the way you want it. This is exactly what it will happen. They will do it for us. Obviously, compliance is going to be like a third umpire, It will always ensure we are within our boundaries. I don't think it will allow us to go beyond the boundaries and stay fair with the customer. She spoke about fairness, how fair practices can be when customer-centric. I think this is going to be the most customer-centric because emotions will be there, but it will not cross controls, I think, and that is how we will tune it. I think with AI we are going to play, we are not going to only play harder, but we are also going to play very smarter, okay? And I think the end result is going to be, we are going to win ball by ball all matches, looks like. And obviously it will happen. So, augmentation and not automation. I think they will own the patterns. AI will own all the patterns, but we as humans, we have a lot of emotions. That alone can't work. As I said, you can have a driverless vehicle, but you still have to put the destination. Here also, it's going to be a nice collaboration of human emotions and AI. Singularly, I don't think so anybody can be winner. So are AI going to replace human being? I don't think so. That's going to happen. But I'm sure if human beings don't adopt that AI, those can get replaced. I think that's how it's going to be. So here also, there is an analogy. They say if they work together, it is going to be an excellent director like Yash Chopra and a fabulous actor like Amitabh Bachchan. They all both coming together. Now just imagine what will they create. They will not only recover their money, or we will not recover our money, but I think we will give a blockbusters. If this both come alone, director akela hoga, which is in this case AI, but actor acha nahi hoga, so it will not work, and vice versa. I think this will go hand in hand. That's how it's going to work, I believe. बड़ा सोच समझ के हमने इसको बनाने की कोशिश की कि कैसे बनेगा ये. So all it says is, it starts with us. It's in our hands, And when I say, I think we have to, I still, what he just mentioned, I think अभी वार्तालाप बातचीत हो चुकी है. I don't think so we should be scared now, When we started Robo, when we started, even analytics, we start sideways. We don't start straight. We say, अच्छा इसको assistance के लिए use करेंगे. अच्छा इसको, let it be on the field, but we will start this using this. We'll take very, very small sample sizes and all those things. I think we have to have the courage to adopt this faster, because this is how it will work, All the 5 components will come together, and finally, I am sure this unit will be recognized as a partners in the business. Again, from an EMI collection to a loss prevention unit. Okay. But again, it's a combination of AI will make it faster, humans will make it smarter. That combination works together. So, I don't think so. I have many more slides. I do have, but I think this is the message I wanted to give on this slide. I hope all of you will have an eye on the AI in future. I think that's what I wanted to end this with. Thank you very much, all of you. I leave you with this thought.